It's Sunday night. Let me move that out. We've just finished classes, so we had a couple of things come up, a couple of questions, and as it gets harder and harder to communicate with everybody and make sure everybody's hearing it, I'm gonna put it out on the video and yeah, have you guys hear it this way. So the question was around the guys not remembering patterns. This is a really big one and common one that comes up. And I know it's a point of stress for a lot of people. It's a point of stress for me for a long time. It's probably in the last couple of years that I've learnt to deal with it, and I just want to talk about how I've done that, and you know, and that might help. That might help you relate to it. And the way I look at it is like this: remembering patterns and all the partner work stuff that we learn for guys is the same as girls remembering shines. So what happens once girls start shining? So in your intermediate and above, once you're on your own. And we've been learning a lot of shines in the front of a room for months and months and months, and then as soon as you're on your own, you got nothing. Cool, nothing comes out. Well, the same thing comes out as everybody else, and that's the Suzy Q, right? So what does this mean? If you know you've done a lot of patterns and you can't remember them, here's what I think. It doesn't matter, right? You're not going to be able to remember all the patterns. There's no chance you can remember them. You're not going to be able to remember all the shines. And you don't need to. The way that you need to think of it is that these are training tools. These are tools that we use to get you dancing, get you moving, and get you flowing, and have material that feels like it should come one after the other, that might feel interesting or might feel like this and might feel like that. And the whole goal of this material is to get it into your body, get it into your muscles. It's not for you to physically remember it. The only way that you're ever going to be able to genuinely freestyle, and this is a view that is a little bit controversial, in the scene, the only way that I found that I was able to genuinely freestyle, and that is not think, right? So we're trying to get to a point where you're not thinking of, hey, this is the pattern I'm executing, I'm going to execute it now, and now it's over. When you're dancing and not thinking and stuff's coming out, that's freestyling. And that's what I really struggled to get to for a long time. And I was probably pushed down the other side by the people around me to some extent, which was to remember lots of patterns and to feel bad about the patterns that I couldn't remember. And what turned out is that that's just not the case. So the way that I think of it is that I'm learning these patterns to give my body options for places to go. So when I find myself in certain places, something will come out. And then the next ultimate level that I found was like unexpected was that something will come out in a relation to the music, and that's even better. Again, it doesn't happen every time, but what I want you to perhaps take away from this is that you don't need to remember all the patterns. And in fact, I'd rather you didn't remember them, but I'd rather stuff just came out when it happened. Now, there is lots of good reasons to remember patterns, like confidence, right? So for sure, when you go out into the dance floor and you've got some stuff, you feel like, yep, I've got it. And that's cool, and you will remember some. And you might remember, if you're like everybody else, or if you're like I was, you probably remember, or like I still am in some extent, you probably remember the pattern that you're currently doing. And that's it. And then you can't remember what the hell you did last month or last week even. That's okay, it's there. You know how I know it's there? Is you've got habits already, right? You've got the evidence. Like if you normally do X after that, that's a habit, that's a muscle memory thing. And that's because you always do it. And now that you've always done it, you're always continuing to do it. So the theory works. Your body remembers stuff when you just do it. Now, how do you become a genuine freestyler, and how do you learn to relax on a dance floor when you've done these patterns so much that they're in your muscles and you don't have to think about them? And one day, half of one will come out and the quarter of the other, and the ending of this one and the ending of that one, the beginning of this one, and then you're freestyling. And it's exactly the same theory that I apply to shines, both for guys and for girls. But it's kind of a shock sometimes I find for girls. As soon as they're on the dance floor and they're shining and you're on your own, you're like, shit, I don't know anything. You know lots of stuff. It's okay. It's just not as easily as accessible. I don't believe that you can memorize it. I know I couldn't. Like, I've taught a lot of patterns over the years. Do you think I can remember them all? Definitely not. I remember bits. I remember chunks. I remember material types. I remember the looks and the feels. But I don't have like pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3 up to 500. Like if you think about, it's just inside through immersion. You think about any other aspect, like, you know, those people that know like every line of a TV show, right? You talk to someone who loves Seinfeld, they know every line. How do they remember it? Like, how do they remember it? They didn't study it, they didn't learn it, they didn't take the script and memorize it. That would be impossible. It's guaranteed to fail unless you've got a really good memory thing. Just through immersion. They didn't watch episode 1 to 500 in order and try to listen. Just by watching it and being there and listening and enjoying it and living it for such a long time over so many repeated episodes, you just start to know it. You just start to it's just inside you, right? This is the same. So, you know, if I can do anything with this video, is to all the guys and all the girls that are worried about this, that are stressed about the fact that you can't remember and you feel like you are not learning it, you are learning it. It's there. The fact, this is not a memory game. This is a having fun game. And sometimes trying to remember stuff adds stress rather than fun to it. What we're trying to do is get to the, you know, what I was trying to do all the time, and this took me a really long time, and to some extent I'm still going through it because it's never over, is to be okay just being you, whoever that is, on the dance floor, with most songs, with most partners. And it sounds pretty straightforward, but in reality it's pretty difficult to really just be you and be able to enjoy that. And that means stripping off all those layers of discomfort and the stress. You know, I can talk about more of them in other videos. But the stress about not remembering stuff is a big one. So the answer is, at least in the way that I've experienced it, you keep training it, you keep drilling it. This might give you an insight into how I come up with the patterns and how I conduct the classes in terms of getting people to you know, drill it and dance it, and why we have the 4-week structure so that you're repeating it week after week, why there are multiple classes a week so that you're seeing it again and again from different angles at different speeds, but you are getting that muscle memory into your body. You know, it's like you know, it's like eating your veggies. We're kind of secretly stuffing them in there while, you know, it looks like you're just sort of come into class and have fun. That's how it's going to happen, right? And when you look back in a year's time and you're out dancing, stuff will come out that was the stuff that you couldn't remember from that year before, right? It's probably not going to be the stuff that you've just learned in your advanced class or in your highest level class, because it hasn't had the time to settle into your body, to settle into your muscles, to become something that feels normal. But all of a sudden, the stuff from like 6 months before or a year before, that's the stuff you're dancing. That's the stuff that your body has come out with. And you can apply this in any other aspect. Like, you know, when you learn a new word, you know, it takes a while for it to become a natural part of your vocabulary where you like genuinely feel, yep, this is a perfect use of it and I'm really comfortable with it, and it doesn't like feel weird to say it. And you can't remember how to put it in context. That's what this is. Cool. So if you have any other thoughts or questions on this, you know, feel free to comment or feel free to ask me. But this question came up today, and I thought it might help you if I give you my thoughts on it. If you have any other thoughts or questions, definitely ask them during the class, or even, you know, post them here in the comments or message me privately. You know, we have people across different classes and different places and different stages at which they might face this. So if it helps you guys and it helps other people, then we'll do it. All right. Enjoy your night. I'm going to go home. Tomorrow is bachata night. I'll see you back here at the studio. Bye-bye.